Hello children, how are you all? I hope you all are doing well. So today in this chapter we will learn about respiratory and circulatory system. So students, in this chapter we will learn about how do we respirate, right? What are the function of respiratory system, right? What are the different organs that are involved in our respiration, then how our blood circulate in our whole body, what are the functions of circulatory system, and what are the different organs that are involved in this circulatory process. So let's get started. Observe the picture given here. What activities do you see here? Okay, so can you tell how these activities are helpful to us? For example, running, right? How is it helpful for us? Which organ system are at work in these activities? So yes, it gives us good health, right? And when we run, our lungs are involved, right? Our lungs are majorly involved. So many organs together make an organ system. Our legs are involved, our whole body in fact is involved. So many organs together make an organ system. Our body is made up of different organ systems. So let's get started. Let's go to the next page. So whenever we do a certain kind of task, our full body is involved, right? And we have different kind of organs in our body, and then this constitute organ system and they work together to perform that function. Like digestive system, respiratory system, circulatory system and excretory system are some examples of organ system. So students, in this chapter we will study about these two systems, respiratory and circulatory, how we breathe and how the blood circulate in our full body. So let's begin with the respiratory system. All living things need air to breathe, right? We also need oxygen to breathe. Animals need oxygen to breathe. So we breathe with the help of some respiratory system, and our respiratory system consists of nose, windpipe like this, and the lungs. So when we breathe in, we take in air, right? When we breathe in, we take in air, and when we breathe out, we expel it out from the body, right? This process by which we breathe in air, right, it is called inhalation. We are taking in air. And the process by which we breathe out, we are exhaling out air. It is called exhalation. We breathe in air through our nose, which goes down to windpipe and reach to lungs. So these three things are connected to each other, right? How? We have a nose, right? Through this we take in air. Then comes this windpipe, right? This windpipe, and then it is connected to these lungs, right? So as we breathe in, our chest moves forward as our lungs get filled with air, and when we breathe out, our chest moves inward as air comes out of the lungs. So you can try this right now, right? Breathe in, okay? So what happens? Your chest is moving forward, right? It is filling. Now release and breathe out. So what happened? Your chest moves inward, right? It is shrinking and air comes out of the lungs. So the air we breathe in contains more oxygen, and the air we breathe out contain more carbon dioxide and water vapor. So this shows that we breathe in air, we breathe in oxygen, right? And we breathe out carbon dioxide. Now this is how a human respiratory system looks like. Now let's go to the next page. So try it. Keep your hands on your chest like this. When you inhale deeply, what do you feel? Your chest is expanding outward. In the same way, feel what happens when you exhale. Yes, this time your chest moves inward, right? Now, it begins with the nose. So we breathe in through our nose, right? When we take in oxygen, we use our nose. It has two holes, and these holes are called nostrils. Tiny hairs are also present inside the nostrils, which filter dust and other particles present in the air. So see, we have hairs also in our nose, right? And these hairs act as a filter. They filter out any kind of dust or small particles that are present, that might be present in the air. So windpipe or the trachea. Next, it goes to the lungs through the windpipe. It takes the air down to the lungs in the chest region. So we should not breathe through mouth, right? The air that goes through the mouth is not filtered and we may fall sick. So now can you see that the difference between taking oxygen through the mouth and through the nose? When we breathe in through the nose, it is filtering, but when we breathe in through the mouth, it is not the filtered air. Now the air from the nose through via the trachea goes into the lungs. Lungs are the main organ of the respiratory system. So they are located inside the chest and the rib cage. They are well protected. Inside the rib cage they are present. We have two lungs, okay? We have two lungs. And they are soft, light, spongy and delicate organs, okay? They are not heavy, they are soft, light and they are spongy. The exchange of gases like carbon dioxide and oxygen takes place here in this lung, okay? Now tell me, what do we do even when we are sleeping, running, eating, watching or breathing? So think upon this question, okay? Lungs are protected by the firm rib cage and supported by dome-shaped large muscles called diaphragm, right? So see, lungs are protected from the rib cage. On this, we have rib cage, right? We have the proper bone structure called the rib cage, right? And this cage, the bones protect the lung. We also have diaphragm here, right? And this provide the, it's a large muscle, right? And it supports the base, right? It supports the lungs from the base. Now, what are the functions of respiratory system? It is like very simple. We breathe in air, right? Through the lungs. So it is oxygen rich air that we breathe. Blood carries oxygen to different parts of the body. So the oxygen that we breathe, right, is given to the blood. It is taken up by the blood and distributed to the other parts of our body. Waste products formed in the form of carbon dioxide reaches our lungs through the blood, and this exchange happens, okay? The oxygen is given to the blood and the carbon dioxide from the blood is given back to the lungs and through the lungs, and our lungs give out this carbon dioxide into the air and we breathe out, okay? So carbon dioxide, the exchange of carbon dioxide and oxygen is taken place through this respiratory system, okay? Do you know the lungs are the only organs in our body that can float on water? And you know it. Why? Because they are soft, because they are light and spongy, right? Now we will learn how blood carries oxygen and carbon dioxide. Let's learn circulatory system to understand this. So let's go to the next page. Just now we talked about the respiratory system. Now the oxygen that came inside our lungs, right, it is given to the blood, right? Now the oxygen is with the blood, right, and the blood flows across our all body, right? Now let's understand how the blood is given to all the body parts, right? How heart pumps this blood. So we will understand this under the circulatory system. The organ system that circulates substance such as water, oxygen and nutrients within our body and also carries away waste products such as carbon dioxide to be thrown away from the body is called the circulatory system, okay? So the circulatory system is the system that circulate water, oxygen and nutrient, and it also carries waste, okay, away from the body. So the main parts of the systems are heart, blood and the blood vessels, okay? So it is the pumping station of our body. So heart is the pumping station of the body. The heart is a muscular organ that pumps blood to different part of the body. It is about the size of the fist. So when you will fold your all the fingers and thumb like this is the size of your heart, right? So it is the pumping station. Through here the blood pumps through to all of the body, right? And heart is a muscular organ. It is made up of different kind of muscles, right? Now it is located in the chest, slightly to the left, right, of the center. So this is the center, right? For example, this is the center, and it is located towards the left, right? It is also protected by the rib cage. So as we discussed in the previous page, that it is covered by the rib cage, right? It beats about 72 times in a minute throughout our lives. So if we are like breathing normally, it beats 72 times in 1 minute. It works like a pump to send blood through blood vessels. The heart is divided into 4 chambers, 2 upper auricles and 2 lower ventricles, right? So our heart works like a pump, okay? It pumps the blood and sends it to different organs, our whole body. And this pump and this blood is supplied to the other body parts through these blood vessels, which we will learn later on. So our heart has 4 chambers, 2 upper auricles, the left and the right, okay, and then we have atrium, the left and the right ventricle, okay. So we have auricles and ventricles, right? Do you know a doctor uses stethoscope to listen to the heartbeat? So these beats 72 times, 72 beats can be heard using special machine called stethoscope, right? The doctor uses this. So what is a fist? Hands when fingers are bent in inwards direction and are held tightly, right? This is the fist. Now tell me what is your heartbeat per minute, okay? So place your hand on your chest, right, where the heart is there present, and try to count the beat in a minute. Now let's go to the next page. So let's now talk about the blood, okay? So blood is the second thing in the circulatory system. Blood is red liquid that flows inside our body in blood vessels. It carries substances such as oxygen, nutrients to different parts of the body. It also carries waste products like carbon dioxide to those parts where they can be removed from the body. So see, blood is a red liquid, right? It flows across all our body and it carries substances like oxygen. Oxygen is something that every cell, every organ of our body needs. Then what else? The nutrients also every part of our body needs. So this is the function of the blood. It carries substances. With this, it also carries waste, right, that can be removed from the body. These are thin tube like structures which carry blood throughout the body. So blood vessels are the thin tube through which blood flows, okay, and they run across all our body. So there are 3 types of blood vessels. One is arteries, veins and capillaries. So arteries they carry oxygen rich blood away from the heart to all parts of the body. So let's say this is the heart, and from the heart the blood vessel that is going away from the heart towards the different body organs, taking the oxygen rich blood, is called the artery, okay. And veins are the blood vessels that carry carbon dioxide rich blood back to the heart, okay. So any blood vessels coming towards the heart, right, towards the heart are veins, and they have carbon dioxide rich blood. Capillaries are very thin tiny blood vessels which connect the arteries to the veins. So these arteries and veins are connected to each other, right, and with a very thin blood vessels, and these are called capillaries, okay. So now let's understand the function of circulatory system. It circulates oxygen and remove carbon dioxide from the body, right? It is circulating the oxygen through arteries and removing the carbon dioxide through the veins. It provides nutrients to the body cells, right? It is providing nutrients through the blood. It protects the body against diseases and infection also, right? And it removes the waste products of metabolism to the excretory organs for disposable. So it helps to remove the carbon dioxide. Now let's recall this chapter, what we have learned in this chapter. Okay, so we breathe through our respiratory system. Different parts of respiratory system are nose, windpipe and lungs. Inhalation means breathing in and exhalation means breathing out of air. Lungs are the main parts of respiratory system. They get out oxygen from the air we breathe in, and the oxygen is passed into the blood which carries it to all parts of the body. The circulatory system consists of heart, blood and blood vessels. The heart pumps blood throughout the body through the tiny tubes called the blood vessels. Now let's go to the next page. The heart has 4 chambers. 2 upper chambers are called auricles and 2 lower chambers are called ventricles. Blood carries digested food, oxygen and waste products to different parts of the body. Now let's get to the exercise of this chapter. So we will go through all the questions one by one. We'll solve one part of each question and the rest you will do by your own. So first question is, tick the correct option. It is a part of respiratory system. Arteries, windpipe, veins. So it is the windpipe, right? Through which we, part of the respiratory system, right? We take in oxygen. The windpipe gives it to the lungs. Match the following. So we have to match this column to other column. Arteries. So arteries carry blood vessels away from the heart, right? They carry blood away from the heart. Next question is, fill in the blanks using these words. So tiny hair present in the nostrils dash dust particles from the air. They filter dust particles from the air. Now let's go to the next page. Next question is short answer question. What is the difference between inhalation and exhalation? So inhalation is the taking in of the air, right? Taking in of the air when our lungs move upward. And exhalation is the giving out of the air, right? And during this process our chest goes inside. Next question is long answer question. What are blood vessels? Name different types of blood vessels. So blood vessels are those tubes through which the blood flows through the heart and to the other parts of the body. So we have 3 kind of blood vessels: the arteries, veins and the capillaries. Okay. So now one fun activity for you. Make a model of respiratory system using materials you find at home as straws, cardboard, balloon, bottle, etc. Right. So you can use these balloons, right? And they can act as lungs. You can use the straw as a windpipe, connect them like this in the form of our respiratory system. So I hope this chapter is clear to you. So based on the understanding from this chapter, you have to revise and do the rest of the questions in your homework.